Hello everyone, welcome back to the Reese's Writing YouTube channel. Today we're going to be doing a book haul for December. I've got quite a lot of books here. Thumbnail's going to be tough to make, alright? And see how it goes. So quite a lot of them, Christmas time. A lot of good books around my mum's. So yes. Okay, so the first one we have Thomas M. Dish's The Genocides. This I've heard a lot of good things about. It's sort of a alien takeover of Earth, and then they use it as sort of a farm for food, I guess, and sort of crazy shenanigans. I presume it's quite a decaying, dark look on Earth, and bad shit happens. And then we have Frederick Pohl's Man Plus, another one I've heard lots of good stuff about. I think it's about if man became more than just a man, I think that's what it says on the front. He sort of becomes almost sort of cybernetic, I guess. He gets a lot of things removed, and how it changes him. I've heard a lot of good stuff about this. I haven't read any Frederick Pohl. I haven't read any Thomas M. Dish either. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting to those. And this is a pretty cool version of it as well. I quite like. It's quite a. It looks a bit bondagey. There's a lot of reflection going on, but you get the idea. And then we have a very cool version of The Hobbit. I really liked this when I saw it in a charity shop. This is an early sketch by J.R. Tolkien. It's even got sort of notes that says the moon should be crescent. I guess sort of a lore-based thing. So very cool version of The Hobbit. I haven't got a version of The Hobbit, so I saw this and this just works for me, This is a cool version and I wanted to get it, so I got it. That is The Hobbit. And then we have, I haven't really heard much about this author, but I think his books sound interesting to me, so I got two of them. Got James Morrow, sorry. This is The Continent of Lies. Is about sort of how you can program hallucinations and dreams. As you know, if you've watched any of my videos, I love inner space fiction, or fiction about dreams and the mind. So this sounds quite interesting. I think it's a bit sort of satirical, his work. Especially in the next one, which I believe is quite satirical. Only Begotten Daughter. So this is about almost a second coming of Jesus, almost, I believe. How a virgin gave birth to a baby daughter, and in New Jersey. Yeah, quite a cool idea. How she can heal things, raise the dead. So a bit of a sort of second coming comedy-esque book. And then I have a Joanna Russ. I haven't read any Joanna Russ, so I thought I'd get some. I've seen this around a few times, but I haven't really picked it up, and now I picked it up. And this is A Female Man. So it's about what if the Second World War didn't happen, and the Great Depression is sort of still going on. And inequality is really high, and I think it's quite a difficult one to read. The way it's maybe written is quite difficult for some people, or for most people quite hard to get a grasp of maybe. But I've heard a lot of good things about Joanna Russ. And then I have an old one which I don't really know is going to be good, but I loved the cover, and that is Space Tug by Murray Leinster. Space Tug. If this wasn't a YA, it could be something else. So I believe this is like a kind of normal like science fiction tale about space journey gone wrong, and atomic bomb in space. Yeah, I really liked the cover. Very old school science fiction. I think it's from the 1950s. So I know, quite an interesting look at old school science fiction. And then we have Brian Stableford. Oh, bloody hell, the fucking gleam. Look at the perfection. The Fenris device. I have Halcyon Drift, but I don't have the rest of them. But this I really love. I really love Pan books. Look at the cover. It's such a cool cover. So yes, that is Fenris device. Sort of about a monstrous gas giant with storms, and they sort of try to explore it. And then a weapon called the Fenris device. I haven't read Halcyon Drift, but I also have it in Pan. So very cool. I love Pan science fiction, the way they look. I enjoy them. And then we have Ray Bradbury Dandelion Wine. As you may or may not know, I love Ray Bradbury. So any new ones I don't really have, I tend to pick up. And this is I think a bit of a coming of age sort of story, like Something Wicked This Way Comes, following two children as they go about in a small town. I think it's less science fiction-y, less sort of fantastical, and more based on the relationship. I think it's quite a personal story, so I very much look forward to reading more Ray Bradbury. And then we have Alistair Reynolds, Slow Bullets, and this is a very short novella by him. It's a guy called Skur is captured, and I guess it follows Skur. So I just finished the Inhibitor phase, which I will go through in my monthly recap, which I believe will be on Friday. So yes, I am looking forward to reading Slow Bullets, nice novella, break between big books, which I have quite a lot of them coming up. And then we have Fahrenheit 451, one of my favourite cover styles. I don't really care if they're beaten up. I love beaten up books. This is a Corgi sort of science fiction library collection, and they're all sort of in this blue. If you had Feel-O-Vision, the feel of these books is very distinct. They're kind of like bezel-y. They're like little dots on them. I don't think you can see it, but they're very cool to hold. And I did have a very basic version of Fahrenheit 451, and this is a step up into the... Oh, smell that. You don't have smell-o-vision, but that smells like old book. I really enjoyed Fahrenheit 451. I would love to read it again. Maybe I will read it now I have a version of it, because I can't find the other version, I don't think, anywhere. And then we have Strange People. People are strange, as the Doors would say. This is a book about people that are living with disabilities or birth defects, and they are living in circuses. There's like a monkey person, people that call them a monkey person. They've got like lots of hair. An alligator boy, and radar brain, a boy who returned from the grave, a man with burning breath. Lots of just people that have, are not the norm. And I think this sort of goes to them, puts them in a different light, and sounds interesting. I read The Outsiders recently, so I think this is in the same sort of library as The Outsiders. So I thought I would pick it up, and it's got quite a good reviews. So I'm interested to see what that's about. And then I've read Raymond Feist before, and I enjoyed. I read the Rift War trilogy. Well, I listened to the Rift War trilogy, and I enjoyed that very much. I enjoyed the trilogy. I didn't think it was amazing or anything, but I did enjoy it, and I would, and and now I've picked up Fairy Tale, which I believe is a single standalone. I think it's based on sort of fairy tales being not as dark fairy tales about a farmhouse in New York, and then how it sort of melds in with fairy tales and Elf King, and is sort of blending of real life and fantasy. It sounds like a cool idea. I think it's a standalone. So I'm interested to see that. I would like to read sort of The Magician Apprentice and The Magician, but I've seen them and they're bloody massive. So I think I would give sort of a standalone a go. And then we have a Greg Bear. I haven't read any Greg Bear, but I saw this and thought I'd give it a try. This is Queen of Angels. I think it's more sort of investigation, maybe a bit of a noir-esque look at science fiction. I've heard Blood Music is amazing, so if I do find that, I would love to read it. This is 2048 Los Angeles. Not that far away. That's 23. 23. Happy New Year, everyone. I didn't actually say that, but this is coming out on New Year's Day, so Happy New Year. Hope you didn't get too wasted. So yeah, look forward to starting Greg Bear. That's too big. And then I got this for Christmas. I've always wanted to read this. A lot of people have this as their sort of in their top 10 favorite books of the year, or this is Dan Simmons' Hyperion. As everyone may or may not know, if you read any booktube, this is the first thing that people say is it's based off Canterbury Tales. I don't know if that's true. I haven't read Canterbury Tales. I think my mum bought it recently. I may give it a try. It looks very poetic, but I believe that it's based on travelers they sort of congregate, and it's based on how they got there, how they got to that specific point in time, and that is similar to Dan Simmons. I think that all the travelers have different ways of writing. Like there's some horror or some religious people, and he takes different ways of writing it. Different ways of writing. So I'm very much looking forward to reading that. And then we have some more. We have some big books. We have some picture books, which I got for Christmas. We have The Labyrinth by Simon Stalenhag. This is, I don't know which one's the third and which one's the fourth. This is the fourth. I have the first and second, the next one's the third. So this is sort of a picture book with, and I think they have like pictures of, they have like little texts to describe what's going on and what's happening in the world. And I really love the pictures. They're very cool. They're very sort of simple, have quite a unique sort of look to them, which I find quite interesting. And the writing is good. It sort of is very history-esque. Like it sort of feels based in the world, like he's writing from the world. It just feels like a proper history book. that is reminiscing on past times and like certain locations throughout the world. This is the third one, Electric State. I had the first two. I gave the first one to an alien. So yeah, very cool sort of picture book with lots of cool drawings and lots of good text about the drawings and the locations and what happened to them. There's like folklore-esque things which I find very cool. So yeah, I'm looking forward to. I haven't really got to the second one yet. I read the first one. It's not really something you really read. It's sort of stuff you come back to and, you know, peruse at your own time, and you don't really take too much. You know, it's not really you couldn't read this in bed. I guess you might be able to. Yes, and then I have a folio version of Aldous Huxley's. I cannot read that. The Devils of Loudon. I haven't read any Aldous Huxley. I haven't read Brave New World or anything like that. So I've always sort of loved the Folio Society look, and they have such a cool sort of front cover. It's very sort of, you know, the fabric is very cool, and yeah, I liked the sound of this book as well. It's, I think, a bit of a dark look on London, sort of a, you know, I think it's quite a dark look on you know, medieval London potentially, and the things they go through. I don't really know too much about it, but I love the look of the book, and Aldous Huxley is, you know, one of those book authors that has a lot of classics to their name, and I still need to read, as I've said, Brave New World. So that is the first Folio Society that I sort of own, I believe. And that are the books. Now, I don't know how I'm going to stack them all to create such a... I think I'm going to... Simon Stalenhag and Tales from the Loop is going to have to go by the wayside. I'm going to have to try and lift them all up. I may have forgotten books. If I did, I may put them in weekly update. I don't know. Okay. Here we go. Yeah. Okay. I've got it. And those are the books, as you could see. Yeah. Thanks for watching. If you've read any of these books, I know a lot of people read Dan Simmons and all that. Let me know what you thought in the comment section down below. And Happy New Year. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.